Well, it's about that time to go camping again. I am cancer-free. I wanted to also remind you to stay tuned to the end of this video. A lot of modifications, a lot of ads. I think they'll make your life a little easier for your camper. And so here we go. Well, we got ourselves a pretty good campsite and brought our little fire pit tonight because it's nice and cool. So we're at a place called Rock Island State Park. It's actually pretty cool. Good place to kayak. We're gonna go hiking today. We'll give you some shots of a scenery. You know, I don't know how much people really want to see scenery. Everybody's seeing their own scenery if they're camping. I don't know. Maybe reviews might be the better route to go. Caney Fork River Gorge, the Old Mill Trail.
I was gonna say Rock Island, but
the state park is Rock Island.
Wow,
but
it's so pretty.
It is gonna be pretty. Let's check it out. Wendy, let's get out of here. We knocked out 10 miles plus a little bit today. How you feel?
Good, I didn't turn on my watch. I get no credit.
I didn't either. We're at the Liberty Square Lester Flat celebration. Sparta, Tennessee. Well, it's time to pack it up and head home. I want to show you some things that we've added that makes things a little bit easier. So one of the ads is the Fat Boy lamp. And I don't know what kind of coffee maker you use, but we have really enjoyed our little Keurig. Everybody's familiar with this one, but on a 1 to 10, I'm going to give this thing maybe an 8 or a 9. Makes good coffee for us. It's camping coffee. And here's a big ad. So this particular drawer here was our microwave. So we have a Globetrotter 21. We use this area for our pantry, have some paper goods back there and whatnot. We use these clear containers. A lot of people use those. Paper goods at the top. However, we had our microwave drawer. It's a little messy. We kept all the electronics in there, but we just had a new back and a new back here put in, and it added more space for our pantry. So we like that. Now, what did we do with the microwave? We just put it up and then we kept all the parts. All this can be unscrewed and then the microwave can be put back in if we ever sold it or if someone wanted a microwave in case we change our mind. But down in the compartment, we keep a toaster and a mini air fryer, and we've tried the mini air fryer to just heat things, and it's fantastic. So you really don't need a microwave. I think I have shown this to you before, but we have this mirror made, and then we put a full-length mirror inside the closet. Love that. Highly recommend it. The fantastic fan. We purchased I think from Woodland Airstream, a new thing that you can close it up. So now all of our skylights have closures on them. And I think everybody has been raving about the Aircrafters vents. Love them. You know, they have a ball joint in them so you can kind of close them, open them. They spin 360 degrees. Highly recommend them. The Chinese version, don't recommend. They're just not as nice and they don't fit as nice. I never make a big deal out of our paper towel holder, but this is put on with Gorilla tape, and I like it vertical just because it doesn't take up a lot of space. We don't use this particular thing for a trash can. We use it for keeping cleaning products in there. And we also added the generator, and love it because we boondock a lot. And of course we've got the 4 lithium batteries and can monitor our battery power. Love that. We upgraded the TV. Now this thing keeps falling off here. I have some Gorilla tape on there. I think I'm gonna put another piece of tape on there to kind of hold that Roku thing up there, but it just doesn't stay, so I got to figure that out. But do love the smart TVs. I use an old Bluetooth speaker and just plug that up and it works like a sound bar. Sounds fantastic. For some reason, Airstream did not wire these to run through the stereo system. We do have the subwoofer and kept it, and love the stereo system in the Airstream. By the way, if you're not using ruggable rugs, we have 3 or 4 different kinds, and sort of a little fall version. Goes with our blue and gold motif. We have a Christmas one and one we keep in here all the time. You know, instead of the command hooks, we just use the little suction cup hooks for our hats. Sometimes we hang different things, sometimes we change, sometimes we add a second one down here. They just seem to be a little more flexible. Our Level Pro down by the door, as you can see, and like that because I can stand outside the door and switch that on. It's right by our trash can and sink and all of that. I like the location of that. Here's a upgrade. So we use the solid fire extinguisher, but we also have the fire blanket. I don't know if you've seen that, but that's worth Googling. Works really well. Hope I never have to use it. And the temperatures right now are in the 40s. So we just use a small ceramic heater. And then when it gets really cold, we will use our My Little Buddy propane heater. We do use the furnace, and that heats the camper up in 10 minutes. But if we're only needing a little bit of heat in the main cabin, we'll use the ceramic heater, and that uses a lot of power, so we're typically plugged up when we're using that. So I'll give you a couple more tips on how we store things. So my Starlink stuff goes in this little bag, and then my extension cord and my lights go into this bag. And I also have an extra long extension cord in case we ever need that. I rarely use that, but it's there in case I've needed it, and I have needed it a few times. But all that goes into these storage bags. And then the Starlink and the stand is going to go into this storage compartment. I have an extra table, camping table there, pops together. But I'll show you how all this goes into the storage compartment here in a moment. So I showed you my 2 storage bags. This one has the lights and extension cord, and this is the modem and Starlink cable. So I'm just going to tuck that away in the back. And then I'll show you how I store the Starlink and the stand in this compartment. So I want to teach you something about Starlink that you may or may not know. Let's say that you can't connect to the app. Looks like it got a little spider here. And you can't connect to the app. So while it's still plugged in, take it out of the base, lay it down face down as I just put it in the chair. And after about a minute, it will automatically go down into the stow mode. And then you can disconnect it and put it up. So the Starlink fits in there really nicely. You can kind of see why I use the alligator mat now, or the little spider mat. So I'll just cover that up like that. So then the stand fits right on top of the Starlink, kind of how they pack it in the box. And you can see nothing's real busy in there. Still have some extra room for other things if you want to stick those on top. Pretty easy way to store the Starlink, and that way you're not carrying that extra box around. If you want to see how we store in the other compartments, we have a how to store everything on the outside video on our YouTube channel. Carry our own fire pit. Yes, there is one over there, but this is a copper fire pit, and we load it up with firewood, and that way we can put the fire pit anywhere we want it. And then if we're boondocking and there is no fire ring, we have one with us. Plenty of room in the truck for it. We carry a poker and a pair of tongs for our fire pit. Keeps things simple and easy. Because this is copper, it's super lightweight, and it comes in 2 pieces. think we bought it on front gate. It wasn't cheap, but it'll last you 20 years. So for you naysayers of the fire pit, I just wanted to show you in the back of the truck, plenty of room. In fact, we will fill in these open spaces with more firewood if we're doing a lot of boondocking. Also, we even have room to put our external water tank. If you've never seen that video, it's worth looking at. Then we'll put the grill inside of the fire pit, and that's kind of how we handle and manage the space. All of our sewer stuff's in this little container. All of our extra electric extension and things that deal with electrical and propane are in that back. This is our fresh water pump and hoses that we use for extra water. If we have to build up the camper for boondocking, we use these extra. And then we have propane tanks and a little mini solo stove in that little cardboard box. I'm looking for a plastic box to replace that. That's kind of how we pack the back of the truck. And recently went with the Weber single burner. Love this grill, love it. And you know, it's a flat grill underneath, and it's heavy, so I just take the wrought iron out, or the cast iron, and load it up in two different pieces. So if you take the tank out, this little rack here comes right out, and that I store that separately, and that's just a cleaner way to store it in the truck. I'll show you one more thing about this grill. You notice how clean it is on the inside. So this is where it catches everything, and the tray that comes with it, these are replaceable pans. So real easy, and it locks in place and won't come out. And the burners stay clean, love that. And it's extremely lightweight once the cast iron griddle is out of it. Just love the grill. 1 to 10, I'd probably give it a 10. I don't give very many things a 10. So everything's in 3 pieces: the rack, the grill, and the griddle. Put it all together, stick it in the truck. By the way, I don't know what Blackstone says, but Weber recommends that you do not cook with this top down. You always cook with the top up. And of course, you don't want to lay anything on top because it'll scratch up the top as well. Now again, this is kind of the silly stuff, but this is the stuff you do every day, many times. So back in that hole under there, because we have a retractable top, sometimes we'll put the chairs underneath that, but typically we just stick them in the back seat because they're the first thing that comes out at our next stop. You know, another great addition is this mat. It's made from recycled car tires. Love this thing. It can kind of fold up and easy storage, and it's indestructible. Great when it rains. We do use the monitors for our propane tanks. Love those. They're due a battery right now, but they're very easy to put on and they're quite accurate. Now this particular little storage area, we have our sewer gloves in here, but also stick the cap to my smart plug for my electrical outlet in there. That way it's outside, it's close by, easy to put up. I'll show you a couple of tips. So I have my X-Chocks in here. I have a crescent wrench in here, of course some gloves. I have gloves everywhere. A pair of gloves for Wendy in case she needs them. Some ant spray because sometimes there's ants around your water faucet. An extension. Now this extension is different than the one I have on there right now. That's a long one. This is a short one. You'll notice that I keep bags of quick connects. I love those because they're so easy to put things together. You notice I have quick connects on everything, but I do not put a quick connect on the camper just because in the past I've noticed that it has leaked, and I keep a pair of pliers in there for I have to work on the something back here with the water, extra whatever you call those, and then some extra rubber ones. I use those for if we have really rocky bases. I do have the rubber bases on our stabilizers. So all my water stuff is now ready to put up, and I'm going to show you a quick tip on how we put the electrical cable in storage. I think you're gonna like it if you don't currently do it yourself. Okay, so first I always start with this end because it's just kind of it snags easy. So I'm gonna put it all the way in, and then I'm with two hands. Then since this is so easy, I'll just tuck that in there like that. Then I'm gonna put all of this water stuff on top of that. Easy peasy. Now I'm gonna take off the lock. Here's a little hot tip on the lock. I always drop my tailgate, put it right on the edge. Keys can dangle down, easy to lock. This thing's so heavy, then I just put it in that little open spot right there. Now, a lot of you probably know this, but if you don't have an AC/DC, that's really great so it doesn't drain your truck. You can leave everything plugged up if you're boondocking. You need to keep this clean, blow it out, keep sand away from it, and keep it maintained. And then also put a light coat of grease on your hitch ball. That keeps everything up here pretty nice. All this needs a little painting, so I'll get some Rust-Oleum paint and keep things looking new. If you're not checking these bolts on your rock guards, highly recommend that. I do it every time. You want to also make sure your propane's turned off. A lot of people forget that and don't do that. Another quick upgrade we did is these covers. You just close them and then turn this down, and it's locked in place. Really simple. And then we have two, so we keep our extra hose down here. Now this might help some of the newbies, but I always put my sewage box right next to the side of the truck, and that way I can get to everything nicely. We use a blue hose for the fresh water and this gray hose for the black tank. So because the hose was kind of crappy on one end, kind of see where it's all messed up.
It's got holes all in it.
That's why we bring our own hose. And if you can get your wife to do all the sewage stuff, it works out way better. Now, Wendy, she likes to rinse a tank about 30 times.
Listen to that water.
Ooh, Wendy likes a fresh, cleaned out tank. We use a lot of water when we flush. And we probably, what, 3 times, 4 times? Now, if people are waiting on us, obviously
I like 4.
And she likes 4. Now, Wendy's got a little technique that she thinks is better than, what's the technique, Wendy? Share it with us real quick.
Well, I keep the black hose running when I open the valve so that the valve
It sprays with everything
hoses
up.
are spraying inside instead of just filling it up with water and that tissue's just doing like this. I'm trying to get it off.
Gotcha. Maybe we could take the hose inside and spray it through the toilet.
I would love to do that.
Another couple of tips. Make sure if you do have the Victron that you're on charge only. Also, make sure that your air conditioner is off, or that could come on and use some of your battery. And then after we're finished, we'll make sure we turn the pump off because we don't want that on, or we don't want any faucets running. And we always travel with 15 to 50 amount of fresh water just in case. So our batteries are at 100%, and if we turn the Victron system off, we've kept those things in storage for a whole season while I was doing chemo and cancer and all that crap. And those batteries stayed at 100%, but make sure you turn that Victron system off. We also turn the battery disconnect off when we're storing. And just so you don't run your batteries down on your Level Pro, that's always turned off. The only time we turn that on is when we're actually using it. I want to give you one last little tip is on this particular trip, I'm gonna crawl underneath the camper. Anything that's got surface rust, I'm going to sand it and paint it with a little Rust-Oleum. Just keep everything looking brand new. Why not? It only takes a few minutes to do it. I turn everything into time. How long does it take to do that? Probably 2 hours to check everything and make it look like new again. 2 hours, that's a good investment of time. By the way, when I roll up these hoses when we're done, I roll them up every time to drain all of the water out of the hose. It just always seems to keep things cleaner. Did I say that it's nice not to have cancer and be out camping again? So I hope this has been a helpful video for everybody, and happy trails.